Used to discuss, what the goals should be. Well, and then the thing is, and the wording might be different, but the goals always came out the same. And there's a lot of ways to say the things that I'm about to say, but the wording always came out the same, which was, and so here's what we've narrowed them down to. We're not going to have little committee meetings and discuss what our goals are in the future. These are our goals. These are going to be our goals next year, and the year after that, and the year after that. The number one goal is be a team. Be a team. And I know that's fairly simple, but all our guys, they got a thing on their wrist that says be a team. Now, it's strategically in red and black because we want to be a specific team, but be a team. All parts in a car are important. All parts in a car are important. If you ask a guy what's the most important part of the car, of course they always say the engine. And I remember when I was in high school, there's a big heavy guy named Todd. And Todd was one of those guys that work on cars, and we're going up a hill beside him, and his wheels kind of wobbling. He leans out the window and he says, "Hey, I only got one lug nut on the tire." Well, and son of a gun, if right when he did that, that tire didn't, the wheel didn't fall right off his car and slam down on the pavement, and Todd wasn't going anywhere. Well, if you think the engine's the most important part of the car, go undo all the lug nuts on your car and then go for a drive and see how that works. So every role is important. Maybe your engine's your quarterback or your running back or some key defensive player or something like that. Every position's important. Your scout team is vitally important. I think one of the things that has helped us is we have great scout teams. We recognize them after each practice. We meet with them. And we have great scout teams. I think every role on a team's important. Be the most excited to play. Be the most excited to play. One time we were playing a team, a little old lady, we tell the little old lady story fairly often. We were playing a team, there's a little old lady that says, well, the black team's going to beat the red team. Well, how do you know that? Well, look at them. They're bouncing down the tunnel, and they can't wait to get out there on the field. And son of a gun, we did. We had a huge day. And she'd never been to a football game. Well, if it's that apparent to her, it ought to be apparent to us. There's really no replacement for being the most excited to play, the most excited to do your job, the most excited to do any of these things. And then be the best at doing your job. Your job, you might have a limited role, you might have a huge role. Be the best at doing your job. And we emphasize that over and over. We have the greatest overachiever I've ever coached is a guy named Wes Welker. Wes Welker's about 5'8". He's got, he's not all chiseled up. He runs a 4.7 and change. Wasn't drafted. In the last 2 years, he's led the NFL in receiving. And Wes had a quote in the paper that I think applies to a lot of things. He says, Wes says, "I just worry about what I can control, and that is me going out and believing in myself." Now, everybody can do that. Everybody can worry about what they can control, and everybody can believe in themselves. And we have that posted in our meeting rooms because I want our coaches to see it, because I want our coaches to instill that into the players rather than the other way around. Rather than have it in the locker room and maybe they read it, maybe they don't. I want our coaches instilling that in our players. And the other thing, and I got this from a guy told me that Dick Tomey did this, and then I called Dick Tomey, and he told me about this next quote. Now, I have this hanging in my office, and mine's the biggest. I made sure mine's twice as big as everybody else's. But in every coach's office, secretary's office, it says you are either coaching it or you are allowing it to happen. If you don't like the way your players are playing, then look at that sign. You know, if some, you know, this business, well, I've told the guy 1,000 times and he still won't do it. You've told him 1,000 times? I mean, you're no better coach than that. I mean, you told him 1,000 times and he won't do it? Well, you're a horrible coach, you know. You're either coaching it or allowing it to happen. Never, as a coach, relinquish or allow yourself to not be accountable for how your players play. If you want to see how good of a coach somebody is, turn on the film, just like Coach Tomey said, turn on the film and watch how your players play. I mean, how good of a receiver coach is this guy, or how good of a secondary coach? Well, let's turn on the film. Let's see what his players do. Let's see how they respond. Let's see how they go. You know, I mean, talent may be different, but you're either coaching it or allowing it to happen. And I think that that mirror of accountability is critical for everybody. You know, I mean, if we didn't, you know, if we don't win a game, what could I have done to coach better? What could I have done to get the message better? What could I have done to make the guy's leg go this way or that way or whatever? The other thing, I think academics is important. You know, if you can, you know, we all get guys in various shapes and sizes. One thing I'm very proud of is of the top 25 teams, we had the highest graduation rate in the country. Of the public institutions, we have the highest graduation rate in the country. Well, and the reason I'm proud of that, and the reason I think it's important, I mean, there's a lot of Mother Teresa reasons, you know, gee, they got a degree and all that's important. That is very important, and there's no question about that. But the other thing that I think is important about that, if you can get a guy to go to class, he'll do what you tell him to on the field, you know. I mean, everybody's got the guy, well, he's not a great student. If he's committed enough to go to class for you, he'll do what you tell him on the field. And I think it goes hand in hand, and I think it's really important from that standpoint as well. I think practice is the most important aspect of what we do, the preparation. I think it's important to be as specific as possible. You know, don't practice things that you're not going to do in the game. And practice them as specifically as you can. If you want the guy's foot there, have a drill that puts the guy's foot there. If you want a guy to take care of the football, have something that teaches him to take care of the football, or at least emphasizes it. Emphasis is important as anything. And then the other thing, I think it's important to make choices. There's too many good plays out there, too many good ways to do things. You have to make choices, have to decide which ones are going to be the best for you. Have to decide, you know, which way you're going to, you know, specifically how you're going to attack outside, how you're going to attack intermediate. You know, what your defensive front's going to be, you know. Make choices so then you can enhance the skills and develop your ability to do those things. Your technique will skyrocket if you do a good job being specific in practice and making choices and only doing what you have the time to teach. The other, we talk about swinging the sword, you know, and you know, and this is this story got some notoriety, but I'll leave you with this. It got some notoriety. I think approaching your audience from various angles is key, because the routine in football is vital. You can't be any good in football unless you have a routine, unless you do specific things. Like on a Tuesday at a certain time in the afternoon, every player that I've ever had knows exactly what we're doing at 3:45 on a Tuesday. It's a Tuesday practice, 3:45. I mean, he knows what we're doing. And so the routine, I think, is critical, because it allows you to specifically develop the skills that you're going to do. But the other thing is I think to keep the energy, keep the enthusiasm up, keep the excitement, you have to come from different angles. Well, so I walk in with this pirate sword one day. Swords have a funny effect on people. So I got this sword sitting there, and I'm doing the talk. I'm not saying anything, but the sword's there. And then well, so then we talked to them about their bodies as swords. I mean, a pirate polishes his sword, sharpens his sword. Even the most derelict of pirates would take good care of their swords. And their body's their sword, and that's why they lift weights to polish their swords, and the rest. But how you swing your sword, I think that's key. I mean, are you going to swing it like this, like, oh, don't hit me? Or are you going to be out of control and, wide open to all kinds of things, maybe cut yourself? Or is it going to be precise and in a specific way? So I'd go around, and luckily I didn't decapitate anybody, but so I swung the sword around as I talked and stuff like that, and then I didn't think a lot of it, but I do hear from a lot of these guys that they remembered that, and I think something just simple as far as coming in at a different angle to keep it exciting is important. Well, then we set the sword on the table, and we had two different types of reactions. Some kids raced up there and wanted to hold the sword, and other kids would detour around the table in a wide sort of fashion, just because I guess they felt it was dangerous. But in any case, I think it made an impression, and I think just little bitty subtle things to do that I think is critical. It's really an honor for me to be here. I really appreciate it, and I want to thank everybody that was polite enough to not walk out of here in the midst of this thing. And because, like I say, I mean, I can't. There's no fooling you guys. And I've learned, studied, stolen, borrowed ideas from more people out here than I can possibly remember or mention. And like I say, I mean, truly an honor. If there's ever anything that we can do for you. Come vacation in West Texas, and we'll talk a little football as you're heading through, and so I look forward to meeting you and the rest. Thank you.